Hello guys, and what is up? It is Castle Perfect here, bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle match, and new tier this time against a FireIronArm from the Smogon Battle Finder. Actually, I was looking for a match as usual, and he was the first one to reply to, or I can't quite remember if I was personally the one who accepted his challenge, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, we just got a match here, and as you can see, he's using a Weezing as well. Like that's very surprising, and I like that, because we will have a very fun face down in this match. And now looking at his team, the only thing that his team is actually weak to is Psychic type, because his Weezing, Beedrill, and Primeape are weak to. Other than that, I don't think there is too much to talk about his team. I think the two biggest threats are Primeape and Gardevoir, if we're not taking Golurk in consideration. Lapras, tends to be a big tank, and Weezing also, but Beedrill, I don't think that's a threat at all. I mean, well, you know, as you can see, Primeape and Gardevoir is definitely the biggest threats here, and as soon as I eliminate those two, I think that I will be good to go. So anyways, we're gonna start off the match as he leads off with Megatron, aka his Golurk, and I'm going to lead off with my Charizard. Now, the reason being for why I lead off with my Charizard is because I had a weird feeling that it would start off with his Beedrill. I was actually crossing my fingers and hoping that he would do that, but he decides to lead off with Golurk, which is also fine by me. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp to get a burn on his Golurk, which works out in my favor as it goes for a Thunder Punch. Now, judging by the move that he just used, I can pretty much assume that his Golurk has the ability Iron Fist, therefore punching attacks are more powerful than they usually are. So I can also expect a Fire Punch or a Ice Punch as well from this guy. Now, I'm actually thinking, well, I might as well just now go ahead and switch out after I went for the Air Slash. I was hoping for a flinch, which I don't get, so he gets the chance to set up his Stealth Rocks. But now that I got my Shelterra on the field, and I'm basically going to go ahead and set up the rocks. Now, the reason being for why I actually have my Torterra out, knowing that there is a slight chance he might have Ice Punch on his move arsenal, is because one, his Pokemon is Burn, and I know that even if he has that 4 times super effective Ice Punch against my Shelterra, that will not KO me at all. I mean, it does a lot of damage, even though it actually burned, but it doesn't bother me too much because right now I got the rocks up, and that is all this is about. So right now I can basically go for an Earthquake and take him down. Now, it was a very stupid choice on my part because I could have seen this coming. I could have expected him switching out into his Weezing at this point, predicting like my switch into something else to avoid another Ice Punch or something like that. But you know, his move was absolutely flawless right there. It was an excellent play as he goes out into his Smoker, aka Weezing, to avoid the Earthquake. Right now I'm actually thinking and debating between, like, should I go out into my Weezing or should I go out into something else. In the end, I decided to go out into my Stank, aka Weezing, because I am quite familiar with Weezing, and usually they go for Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Sludge Bomb, or Will-O-Wisp, or Pain Split, or Toxic. I mean, those are the most familiar and the moves that Weezing usually use the most. So I'm not too afraid of it as he goes for Will-O-Wisp and burns my Stank. Now, I was rather debating whether I should go for a Will-O-Wisp or go for the Flamethrower. For some random reason, my brains just were like, you should definitely just attack and see what happens. So that's exactly what I go for. I go for the Flamethrower. I ended up hitting his Arcane, or Icane, which for some random reason I think it's hilarious, because nah, it's not hilarious at all. I mean, I'm just an idiot. But anyways, I go for the Flamethrower and I do a little bit of damage against his Gardevoir. Now, here is a very funny part. I was actually predicting the Psychic attack, so that's why I decided to switch out into my Cacturne, trying to avoid the Psychic because I'm Dark type. Now, he goes for the Calm Mind, which is fine by me. He goes for the Focus Blast, as I made a personal misclick right here. I went for the Swords Dance instead of the Sucker Punch, which I wanted to go on the very first turn that I switched Cacturne in. So I am so happy God just blessed me right there that he did not hit that Focus Blast. Had that been the case, I think I would have, you know, the game would have been so differently from the way it actually happened. But anyways, I'm going to take out his Gardevoir with a Sucker Punch, as he's gonna bring out his Primeape. I am not sure if Sucker Punch plus 2 attack would be enough to take down the Primeape. I will not take that risk, so I will definitely switch out into my sludge to take whatever this Primeape is about to throw at me. He goes for a acrobatic, boosted by the item Flying Gem, which is gonna do a lot of damage, about 70% damage, and then he's gonna proceed to go for the Earthquake to finish my mug off. Unfortunately, for some reason, I did in fact forget that he had Earthquake. I didn't even took in consideration that Primeape could learn Earthquake. So that was like a bitch slap across my face, just a wake up slap. Like, what are you doing, Cassler? That's like a very stupid move there. But it doesn't matter, because like the more mistakes you make, the more you learn about them. So anyways, I'm gonna bring out my win right now, aka my Black Charizard. The Stealth Rocks actually hit me and bring me down to 12 HP, where Blaze ability gets activated and Petagia Berry also. So my Flamethrower is even more powerful than a Fire Blast at this point. It's like a super overhit. It's like super powerful at this point. So I do in fact take down one of his Pokemon with Flamethrower, which is aka his Golurk, and he was debating whether to go for something else or his Lapras. He was actually, he took a long time while we were really battling here before he brought out his Lapras. But anyways, in the end his Lapras is able to survive it, and he takes me out with an Ice Beam. That's fine by me, because now I'm going to bring out my Rampage, and I'm going to go for the close combat, because that's super effective and that's definitely going to take it out. And it doesn't really matter what he brings in at this point, because I'm not really too afraid of anything basically, because if he decides to actually make a switch into something, I will have also the chance to like activate my Toxic Orb and also have my ability Poison Boost get activated. So it doesn't really matter what happened there. I was just, lucky to have defeated his Lapras at this point. So he's gonna bring out his Primeape. His Primeape is gonna go for the close combat, which is fine by me, because I go for the Protect just to scout out and see what this guy is actually going to do. So accordingly to the move that he used just now, I'm going to make a switch into Stank, because that's close combat, which is good by me. It's all fine by me. It's all fine and dandy. Now his defense and special defense is lowered, and I'm basically in a very good position, I gotta say, because I mean I can sponge an Ice Punch, I can sponge basically everything that this Primeape is about to throw at me. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go for the Pain Split, and this is the moment that I like the most about this battle. Is like you don't get to see Weezings like face each other so often. Like this is one of those weird moments where like it's Weezing versus Weezing, because it's like a stall war actually of Will-O-Wisping each other and Pain Splitting away, going for the Flamethrower and that kind of things. It gets ridiculous at some point. Like I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp to get the burn and get him at the exact same amount of to bring the to even out the battle at this point, because I'm actually thinking if I don't get the residual damage on his Weezing, I will have a very bad day. So that's why I go for the Will-O-Wisp. So he goes for the Pain Split, by the way, which is unfortunate, because he was actually hoping for, well, he was expecting me to go for an attacking move, but because I went for the Will-O-Wisp, I actually received HP instead of losing HP, which it was kind of hilarious at this point. Even though it's not that much HP, it's still funny to see. So what's going to happen here is I'm actually going to spam the Flamethrower all over the place, as he's going to spam the Pain Split all over the place. Now, one thing that is really good about this face-off is that my Weezing is faster. I have no idea if like the nature is different or my base speed is higher. I have no idea why I am faster, but it definitely works out in my favor at this point, because as you can see, I can basically go for the free Flamethrower, and at some point I will be able to give the decisive blow and actually finish off that Smoker with my own Weezing, which is pretty awesome actually, I gotta say. I mean, my Weezing is more badass than yours. Like, look at that. His Weezing goes down, but one thing is really bad about this situation is that Stank is at a certain amount of HP where like the burn is gonna bring me down to 33 HP, and at this range basically everything that this or anything that this Primeape is about to throw at me is going to take down my Weezing, which is a shame. Now it's funny because at this point this guy was so confident about him winning this match, because he was like, I know your character has Sucker Punch and I know that will not KO me, so therefore he is basically saying indirectly that he is going to win this match. Unfortunately for him, I have a Thrump card somewhere in my team which he definitely will not see coming, which is definitely so funny. I like this match exactly because of that moment, and also because of the face-off between Weezings. Now he's going to go for the close combat as I go for the sucker punch. I bring him down to like 30% HP, around that amount of HP. So I'm going to bring out my rampage, and unfortunately because of my big mouth on the chat, I was like, you did not see this coming, dude. What's gonna happen? You are not going to see it coming. So oh my god, Caster, you just blowed your cover right there. So I go for the quick attack, trying to finish off his primate, which did not happen. As you can see, brings out his B-drill, which is also a very funny thing about his battle. It's like his B-drill is named after me. Like Chris is my name. Well, actually my real name is Christopher, but like everybody calls me Chris, and it's funny to see a Pokemon named Chris. So I actually finish him off with a quick attack, and he's like, I'm definitely sure that this quick attack will not finish me off. And well, sir, unfortunately for you, that just hit you back in the ass, cause quick attack is more than powerful. More than enough powerful to take down the primate of yours at that range of HP. So the game was pretty much really awesome in my opinion. Some good predictions, some good face-off, a Pokemon that is named after me, a surprise attack. Like, this game had basically everything that I need in order to enjoy a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle at its fullest. And if you guys agree with what I'm saying, absolutely leave a like, a comment if if you're awesome like that, and favorite this video if you enjoyed it that much. Well, anyways guys, this is it. This is Castle the Perfect, and I'm signing out.